And here comes today's challenger, Chef John.
Welcome to Kitchen Stadium.
I am honored to be here.
I summon the Iron Chefs.
Iron Chef Car Camper. Iron Chef Overlander. Iron Chef Backpacker. I challenge Iron Chef Overlander.
Ooh, today's secret ingredient is freeze-dried meals.
Freeze-drying was invented by Jacques-Arsène d'Arsonval at the Collège de France in Paris in 1906. During the 1950s, industrial freeze-drying of foods became popular. Today, it is used as a preservation method for foods such as ready-to-eat camping food, pharmaceuticals, and a large range of other products. It looks like the chefs are ready to rumble and just waiting on the chairman's signal.
Out of cuisine!
It is on like Donkey Kong, both chefs scrambling to grab the secret ingredient. And oh, it looks like a little bit of drama down in Kitchen Stadium already. Let's check in on the action.
Iron Chef Overlander, what are you working on right now?
Well, right now I am reading the directions. It looks like the challenger has grabbed the kettle there. I wonder what he's up to.
Fukusan,
Go ahead.
Challenger Chef John is pouring water in the kettle.
Ah, yes, of course, water.
That's enough of that silly stuff. Let's get down to testing out these freeze-dried meals. Like you saw earlier, we got 4 of them. The first one is the Mountain House Adventure Meals lasagna with meat sauce. Next, we got Backpacker's Pantry. It's just called lasagna. These are vegetarian. And then Peak Refuel Beef Pasta Marinara. And lastly, the Alpine Air Rustic 3-cheese sausage lasagna. So 3 of them are lasagnas, and this one's beef pasta marinara, the Peak Refuel one. This is the closest thing I could find to lasagna, and I wanted to keep all 4 of these meals like the same kind of meal just to make it a little bit more of an apples to apples comparison. We're not going to use like the crazy complicated legit Iron Chef scoring. I'm only doing 2 categories. It's going to be taste and texture. I think texture is pretty important too, because you don't want your lasagna to be like the texture of, I don't know, granola or something like that, or pudding for that matter, right? So taste and texture, scoring that 1 out of 5. My buddy John's going to help me. So we got just me and him as judges. We'll tally everything up at the end and see which of these freeze-dried meals reigns supreme. Let's go.
All right, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take each package one at a time, follow the directions very, very carefully with the amount of water used and how long it'll take to actually, quote unquote, cook the meal. We'll do 1 meal at a time just because I don't want one sitting around for a while and cooling off and things like that, or getting over, quote unquote, cooked. So we're going to start with the Mountain House Adventure Meals lasagna with meat sauce. Again, boil some water, follow the directions. And then let me show you our scorecard real quick too. Here's my little ghetto scorecard. Taste, texture, all 4 meals. Again, rating of 1 out of 5. Both me and John are doing this and we'll tally it at the end. All right. We've got the Mountain House lasagna with meat sauce first. This is what it looks like plated up. Let's see how it tastes and let's see how the texture is, and then we'll give some commentary as we go here. And John and I are sharing the same bowl here. You don't have cooties, right?
No.
No? You sure?
I don't know.
My dog seems very interested in the Mountain House right now. All I know right now is we're not judging it for like appearance or anything, but it's pretty wet. You want to take the first bite?
Sure. It reminds me of something.
Yeah, that's tasting a little like Chef Boyardee. It's like got a real like SpaghettiOs kind of taste, right? Yeah. We're not gonna score it on camera right now. We're gonna jot it down and look at all of it at the end. But so far, like, texture's not bad, right?
Yeah, it's cooked well. No.
I mean, it's a freeze-dried meal. It's not like al dente, obviously, or anything. But let me try one last bite, and then I'll have a good idea.
Meat tastes decent.
Okay. All right. So took a couple bites. We're going to stop recording for a second, jot down our score and scorecard, and then we'll get the next meal cooking. We've got the Backpacker's Pantry lasagna. Remember, this is the vegetarian one. And let's try it and see what happens. You want the first bite here, John?
Sure.
Oh, while he's tasting, I forgot. Show you what it looks like here. Looks like, I don't know, almost like egg noodle looking. How is it?
It's just there's a unique taste.
Unique taste.
Yeah, it's the herbs.
That is definitely different than the other one. And I know it's vegetarian, but you're getting some kind of like, texture-wise, some kind of vegetable, right?
Wow.
I can't even really tell what it is. Yeah, I don't know what that weird vegetable texture I'm getting in here. I can't tell from the ingredients what it is exactly. But we're gonna score this one up and we'll move on to the next meal. Peak Refuel beef pasta marinara now. And before I forget, here's what it looks like. Look at all the mini meatballs. All right, John, you ready for the first taste?
Sure.
Let's do it.
And get some meatballs and some noodles in there. The curly noodles. Cheese is nice. The meatballs.
Yeah, it's kind of got a little more, I don't know, complex flavors going on. The meatballs?
Yeah. Oops.
What about the meatballs?
Not as cooked through. But.
Yeah, I agree with that. The meatballs are a little dry.
Well.
Let's put it that way. All right, we got one more to do. Be right back. Okay, we got the last one here. This is the Alpine Air Rustic 3-Cheese Sausage Lasagna. John, you have the honors of the first bite?
Sure.
I forgot to show you guys again. This one's really hard to show you, though, because it's like, it's so wet. There's so much sauce in it. First impression?
Flavoring is good. There's a little kick to it. The meat is a little better.
Apparently Maya likes this one too. Yeah, meat's a little bit of dry, right?
Yeah, a little
bit dry,
but not
but
as bad.
not as bad as the previous one, yeah.
It's a little more wet. I think that's why, but
All right, I took 2 bites of everything else, so let me try 2 bites of this one here. Get some meat on it. All right, so that's the last one. John and I are gonna go fill out our scorecards now, and we'll see which one won. We'll review that with you in just a moment. Before we break away though, today's video is sponsored by me. All right, guys, I've got the scorecards here, my super high-tech Sharpie scorecards. Here's mine. I can't read stuff through the paper, so I gave the Mountain House a total of 6, the Backpacker's Pantry a total score of 3, Peak Refuel total score of 7, and Alpine Air a total score of 8. And let's see how John scored everything. He's got Mountain House at 7, Backpacker's Pantry at 4, Peak Refuel at 6, and the Alpine Air at 9. So let me do some complicated mathing here. Watch, I can't even total these up in my head, right? Wow, we have a clear winner. I'm just going to use my scorecard with the totals on it. But Mountain House, between me and John together, we got at 13 out of 20. The Backpacker's Pantry, we've got only 7 out of 20. The Peak Refuel at 13 out of 20. And the Alpine Air, the clear winner for our scorecards, at 17 out of a score of 20. So that kind of blew everything away. But it was pretty wet though, right? The Alpine Air overall. I mean, it didn't affect the texture of the pasta so much, nor the little meatballs or whatever.
yeah,
This
was the one that had the most water too.
Yeah, 2 cups of water in that one versus like, I think the next one down was like 1.5 cups. So, I mean, the portion is way bigger on this, and not just because of the sauce. There was quite a lot of pasta also, kind of filled that bowl up. But, yeah, the Backpacker's Pantry, I don't know, just something about like the overall flavor wasn't all that great.
Yeah, I mean, it was meant for someone, not us.
Yeah, they are vegetarian, and they do have a lot of vegetarian options for you guys who don't eat meat. But yeah, Alpine Air, so far, like I think on our last trip, and it was just like an overnight trip, we didn't really film it or anything. I had one of these Alpine Air ones. I don't even remember what it was. It was like some kind of pasta, like wild mushroom Alfredo, something like that. It was pretty good, like flavor-wise.
It was watery too.
It was watery too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. That was pretty saucy. Which one did you have? Do you remember what brand that was? I know it was like a gumbo or something. It was Alpine Air, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it was like a gumbo, and that was pretty tasty too, actually. But from all these brands, and I've eaten a couple of these before, quite a few of these before, and then a couple of each of these brands before, and not both times, every time, these have been, Peak Refuel and Alpine Air have been really consistent as far as like, just tasting good and having like decent texture overall and everything. So if you guys are looking for backpacker style like freeze-dried meals, I would honestly stick with these two brands, again, unless you don't eat meat. But yeah, if you guys have a favorite brand that's like always your go-to for a freeze-dried meal, please let me know down in the comments below. If it's something I haven't tried before, I'd like to try it at some point. And we do keep these with us when we go out adventuring, just because, those nights where you pull up in the camp late, you don't really feel like cooking like a full-on meal, or, you just want to be lazy at other points during the day. They're always good to keep around. I don't want to eat these for every single meal, but every now and then, they're not so bad. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, destinations don't matter, the journey matters. This is Roger and
John.
John. We'll see you guys next time.